My most excellent friends. Uh, yeah, I have a wine hangover. Like, I don't feel super terrible, but I don't feel super great either. I feel like my brain is made of cotton candy, which isn't the worst thing in the world. It'd be way worse. So I'm sitting here, rehydrating, caffeinated, really wishing that I had some Waffle House this morning. I think that would do me right. I'm on the road to becoming human. And yeah, part of that road is doing something mentally engaging, but not mentally engaging. So yeah, I'm going to play some Power Wash Simulator. And if you want to hang out with me, that is awesome. If you want to play co-op with me and you have it, let me know as well. Make that work. Looks broken. Let me fix. Ready, aim, and relax. That is exactly what we're aiming for. Hope you're having a good day. Hope life is treating you well. It's time to wash up. Let's do the washing up. I had some Welsh rarebit for breakfast. Not as good as a hash brown and waffles, but we make do with what we've got. Wish I'd had some eggs. I didn't have any eggs. That was unfortunate. If I throw an egg on top, that'd been perfect. But here we go. Let's go. Yeah, let's wash. We're gonna clean up the playground. All right. I'm playing keyboard and mouse. I might switch to controller. We'll see. Launcher, switch nozzle, rotate equipment. So R is nozzle, E is equip. Pick up, place equipment. Game mode. Cool. I don't think I've played it this way yet. Oh, there we go. Oh, so much washing needs doing. Let's go with my short extension. Let's go with the turbo nozzle. I'm not gonna put any cleaner on yet. Oh, I hate that. Let's go back to this. Something wider. There we go. Oh yeah, that's a winner. Should we go wider and still be effective? Oh, music. Yeah. So how's everyone's Saturday treating them so far? How you doing today, Sammy? How's life? I'm gonna go for cleaning up the ground first, I think. So I feel like Mars and I, when we co-opted this, at some point, we actually finished up the playground. A lot of cadavering and some fools. I thought about just doing a Discord of that this morning, but I don't know. That actually seems like even more effort than I care to employ. Oh, let's see what my performance looks like with this. Let's see. Wow, something's eating up CPU. Something is eating up CPU. I think my CPU is getting a bit long in the tooth. It might be about time to seriously consider a rebuild here. Discord wizarding left for cleaner heads. As I was saying earlier, my head feels like I don't feel super terrible, but my brain has the capacity of cotton candy at the moment. Like, that's where I'm at. I'm feeling a little bit better. I'd be better if I'd gotten waffles and eggs and hash browns. But... and proper coffee. I'm not on the proper coffee train this morning. I'm on the energy drink train. Mm. Wait, let me try. I think I've got a better... nope. Oh, cool. Shows me the dirt. I think I bought a better washer. Ooh. Oh, I did want to make sure that we had someone aboard when I wanted to try this out. I think I fixed it, but I'm not 100% sure. Did you hear that? Did you hear the blurp? I spent like 45 minutes yesterday trying to get that to work on here, and I'm just not... I just need outside verification that it worked. Which is entirely possible it didn't. I feel like it would be likely that it didn't. It's like it doesn't show up on my... or really anything. It doesn't look like it's popping on any particular audio source. This might be the most satisfying video game I've ever played. I know what my 700 follower incentive should be. IRL Power Wash Simulator. Just watch me power wash. Oh boy. Did you hear the blurb when it went off? Power wash the driveway with Dr. You didn't. All right. Let me try it one more time. Because it also sounded clipped off on mine. So it plays in my headphones, but not on stream. And I can't change its output on Twitch Studio. So it might just be a no-go. I spent like 30 minutes doing that yesterday too. But does that help performance at all? Not particularly. You're excited? Well, I'm fine. Yeah. So I've got that downloading on my Xbox right now. Not the demo, but the full game, since that comes out next week. I don't know if I want to be playing it on stream right off the bat, but it looks good. I haven't done Neo, but this one looks good. How are you doing today, King? By the way, happy Saturday, my dude. Yeah, it's doing the like Three Kingdoms bit. Like, that's one of my favorite eras of history. There's so much intrigue that's going on there. I don't think it was Warring States. I think it was Three Kingdoms. It might be Warring States, though. I love those Chinese interregnum periods. They are absolutely fascinating to me. People persisting within the college and gave a shit about it. Yeah, so I think that's the romance of the Three Kingdoms. Like Cao Cao and Big Boo and all those guys. Yeah. That's good stuff. It's all based on one of the classical, like one of the 4 classical novels of Chinese antiquity. Up with lights, they don't care. Yeah, that's annoying, right? When you're running tech crew and people just dicking around the whole time. Right, you gotta at least put in like 25% effort and care a little bit. Oh, pro strat. You can just leave it on. I know, it's so satisfying. Like, this is a perfect just background thing. If this game ever leaves Game Pass, I don't know what I want to do. Although I think I bought it from Mars, so it should be on our shared Steam library. Although her games don't show up in my library. Mine show up in hers. It is super annoying when people don't, like, care. You mean this one? Yeah, I do. It took me 4 or 5 jobs to discover the find the dirt button. Yeah, it took me longer than I care to admit to do it. Luckily, I'd seen Markiplier play it, and he had found the button, so I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's the pro strat. The other pro strat is the toggle it on and off. There's another pro strat there. No, you do it, man. Like, that is the whole point of today's stream, is this is just background existence, hangout. This is the most low-key stream I think I've ever thrown. Good morning, Blair. We're having a nice little low-key morning. This is why you read the controls. Exactly. There we go. Let's put the long extension on it. Oh yeah. Oh, clean that up, you big filthy dirty boy. 93 damage in fighters. I don't know whether to be angry about that or not, Blair. You're doing what? World of War Thunder, World of Tanks, World of Warplanes. I don't remember which sim that one is. Warplanes, okay. One of these days, I'll actually take a sponsorship opportunity just for the meme. I'm not going to do a Raid Shadow Legends, I'll tell you that much. Someone did reach out to me on Twitter the other day. It was like, hey, you should play this MMO. And I'm like, yeah, but it's an NFT based MMO. And I don't know about that. I don't feel so good about that. I would do one of those if I saw like a World of Tanks or World of Warships or World of Warplanes once. I might actually do that and get you all to sign up with my affiliate code. I do love your puns. I still don't think an NFT is inherently a scam. I think that scammy people have bought into NFTs, right? Right. NFTs as investments is kind of a scam, but NFTs as a technology is useful. Let's just see juicy buttons. We do like buns. We like buns and we like puns. I can already feel myself becoming more human this morning. Sarcasm is King's love language. Why the shooting star? Aw, he's a cuddler. I think my wife abused me into becoming a cuddler. I was not a big cuddler before she came around. Now that's a thing I do. She broke me. You're just here wanting to fight. Choose violence. It's violent cuddles. You're a violence cuddler. Yeah. Last night I chose the path of wine. This morning I choose the path of gently pressure washing things. Oh my god. Struggle snuggles. Oh my god, that's the greatest thing I've heard all day, King. I want to get like a picture of like, so I want to make like a t-shirt with like someone like choking someone out and it just says struggle snuggles. That's beautiful. We should sell that. We could sell that. We'll make dozens of dollars, I tell you. Dozens. There are dozens of us, I tell you. Dozens. Literally dozens of us. Cleanliness is next. Yeah, I think I think I'm at the point now where if I go and take a shower and brush my teeth, I'm going to feel like humanity restored. Like it'll be like using a ember for a humanity in Dark Souls. So about them Yanks. What about them Yanks? I'm a Mariners fan, so fuck the Yankees. Just conversational gambits. Conversational gambits with Blair. Wee. You worked last night, right, Blair? How was work? How was things? How were the crowds? What is it that you are doing? Not like your job title, but like what is the stuff that you do as part of your job? I know you're working like special events. So you like crowd control, customer service. Yeah, get it clean. Oh yeah, look at that. This is such a satisfying game to play. I was telling Sammy earlier that like 700 follows, IRL power wash simulator. I'll just do like an outdoor washing stream. Go borrow my parents' power washer. Power wash the driveway. What? Did I just get like... Oh. That was my Xbox saying that Wolong is downloaded. Ready to play this week. Set barricades, work special events, guest management, guiding guests with carriers for the event, do corporate events. That... Okay, so yeah, you're literally doing the things that are necessary for special events. That's cool. Making special events. Hey, I finally got something clean. Guide, go with the floats. Oh, that's cool. You basically get to do a Mardi Gras parade. Oh, okay. So a few years back, let's control. Sure. 15%. So a few years back, I did the Macy's parade at Universal. I was just walking around, and they saw me and my sister, and they're like, "Hey, y'all look young and strapping, and you don't have any bags. Come with me." And I was like, "Okay." Like, sure, I'll guide the flying thingy. Never again. Learned my lesson. Let's go. Extension. So for the... Oh, y'all doing AEW on the 28th? Nice. Nice. I swear, if you get to meet any of the wrestlers, I'm gonna be totes jelly. I love AEW. Like, that is my promotion. I'm going to be totes jelly. Yeah, that seems, that does not seem super doable there, King. The math just don't work. I mean, I know that the wrestlers go to Universal and Disney all the time, because both of the promotions are basically, like, one's in Jacksonville, the other is basically in Orlando. I know that Florida's a big destination. I forgot that they were actually doing a show from there. Happens every. So there's an AEW event every month? They must do like a house show or something out of there. Yeah, so it must be like a house show or something. Or like they might tape like Dark or something from there. That's also possible. Should it take 30-ish battles? Ugh. Should. I mean, how long does a battle last? How long is a match? Like 15 minutes? I bet they're taping like Dark or something from there. 15 minutes. It might be doable. That would be a heavy grind now. 2 and work is about 4. Well, that's gonna suck. Claire, that will suck. But you can do it. I believe in you. You like the job. That's good. It sounds like it's got enough variety to keep you engaged, and it actually helps with your skill set. Like, it actually jives with your skill set. So that is a big positive. Type of shit, we just stand there and do nothing. Getting paid to poop. Gotta love that. Physical labor, right? Mental, physical, engaging the whole body and soul, the whole person. Here for it. Here for it. A little bit of everything. Variety. It's the spice of life. Such satisfying white noise. They're strong. Look at that performance. I don't know, is this a CPU intensive game? Because I am just eating up CPU. Not strong, just determined. Well, determination is a strength all of its own. Put that on a mug and sell it. Determination is a strength all its own. That and struggle snuggles. Brock Lesnar definitely looks like he's a struggle snuggler. Rock Lobster. Skidoodly bop. Ooh, skidoodly bop. It wasn't a rock. It was a rock lobster. I said Brock Lesnar. I said Brock Lesnar looks like he enjoys struggle snuggles. Brock Lesnar is a rock lobster. Calling it now, Brock Lesnar, secret identity, rock lobster. Oh my god, it's filthy. That's why I'm here. Brock Lesnar, the rock lobster who enjoys struggle snuggles. This place is filthy. Let me turn the water effects off. There, I feel like that is off. Not really helping. Yeah, I think my problem is I'm just CPU limited now. It's time to start thinking about upgrading the CPU. What if this is connected to Mario Sunshine? No, maybe. No. I mean, theoretically, this guy has a water backpack. No cables behind us. But I don't have to stop and get more water. I don't think cable is the word I was looking for. I think hose. A hose pipe. There's no hose pipe. I was crouched the whole time. What? And clean up. Okay, you know what? Secret headcanon. This game is actually a Mario game. There is like a Tomb Raider and a Final Fantasy level in this game. It'd be cool if there's a Mario level. I want some music. Put on some video game music in the background. Or do we just like the nice swooshy white noise? It's a nice ASMR noise. Clean it now. Clean it good. Clean this stuff just like we should. Power wash like it's my job. How's he trying to sense me? Shh. This one's like a nice gentle rainfall. It's just ASMR in here. I should add an ASMR tag to the stream tags. I mean, after all, why can't I murder countless star systems? Because we don't have the technology to travel betwixt them at the current instance. Be a lot cooler if we did, though. Oh, we're almost there. We're almost there, chat. Almost there. Oh, so satisfying. Be a lot cooler if we did. King. 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 I approve. I approve. So I think my backyard neighbor, like the person behind me, is literally power washing right now. IRL. 11K on a mission. Noise. So your theory, Blair, is that if we just murder everything in deep space, then there's nothing to be afraid of in deep space. That's the theory of the case. Yup. You sound like a Inquisitor from the Imperium of Mankind. Filthy Xenos. The funny part is, though, I generally prefer the Xenos in Warhammer. 34%, cranking away. This is true. Unless they are worshippers of chaos. Unless, oh my God, what if they're chaos demons? And then they're like, nope, Blair is exactly what we want out of this. Culling. No, maybe. Blair, I think you would like the Dark Eldar. More than none. Unless we're talking about, like, guns. I don't know why I have that Mario music stuck in my head. That's kind of strange. Sounds like a riff on the Hunger Games. Oh, hey. Hi there. Oh, hi, Mark. That's not the book. In the mirrors, the cat's missing. We won't have spring until the cat puts on the hat. It is an important ritual. So this is clearly like a British game. Like, I get a whole lot of Britain off of this game. To be honest, if I had to wear that hat, I'd go missing too. Right? Am I wrong in that this game feels British, Sammy?
Gladio is a trained killer. Marked at a young age as an individual with violent tendencies, she was taken from her family and moved to the Data Point, a biotech-enabled analyst who carries out the calling. She is designed to identify and destroy any potential humans that threaten the colonies, those marked as lawbreakers, unproductive, or sick. And she's kidnapped by a rogue colonist known as the Ferryman. Everything Glade thinks she knows about the colonies, and the authority that runs it, is turned upside down.
Actually, that sounds up my alley. That does sound up my alley. Yeah, that might have to go on my list. I don't hate that. I don't hate it. Let's go Stubby. Alright, we going Stubby. Yeah, not gonna lie, that one kind of does sound up my alley. Oh, it's dirty. This is filthy. I'm gonna crawl around on my belly and clean this off. Haha! Let's make the rubbish bin look nice. You sent the thing. Like synopsis. What now? What do we want to clean now? Nice, thank you. Appreciate it. That one actually legitimately sounds like a one I might want to listen to.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Voice actor is a bit robotic for lead, but perhaps on purpose. That does sound like a little bit of a Mentat thing going on there, so having a bit more of a monotone might not be a bad idea. More warplanes you can tie. You only tie 0.45% of your game max.
Win or lose, baby. Win or lose. No ties.
Let's go back to long. 50 old trusty, 15%. Oh, now we love that. We love that, Blair. Love it. That's clutch. A full trilogy for 1 credit. We into that. Into it. There, it's 25 hours. It looks interesting. It's 25 hours. So you did it. Hey, 25 hours. I like that. That's a couple weeks of listening for me. I'm into it. I'm here for it. I'm here for that. I love me a. One of my favorites is like 96 hours long. The whole ass series, you got it in like a single omnibus. Love it when they do that. I should get better gloves from my mans. Yeah, that's super annoying. When like some of the books are missing, I'm like, can we just have all the books, please? The ones that really bother me is like if there's a series I find but it doesn't have audiobooks. Like I love reading, like the physical act of reading, but when it comes to just consuming stories, because I drive so much, love me some audiobooks. That washed up. Is this a bright shiny thing? Oh, it's shiny. We gotta fix the shiny. 'Cause it's shiny. Second, I want to see if maybe help me out. Although I don't know what I want to close. Oh well. Kingdom Keepers, base Kingdom Hearts, but in the theme parks. Hmm. The yellow or yeah, also pit against Disney villains, which is a bit of. That sounds trippy. And it gets more insane than that. That's pretty insane. Kinda sounds like fan fiction. Sounds like a fan fiction that went off the rails and somehow got actually published. Maybe it'll happen faster than you thought, King. Didn't you only need like 97K? Right, it's 05. How shiny it is. 71 now. And you already got 30K of it. It's going much faster than anticipated. Much faster than anticipated. Unlike this cleaning job, not faster than anticipated. Warhammer.
Filthy Xenos.
Bow before the Imperium. Bask in the Emperor's light. There are several chaos races in Warhammer. Right? They're the four, maybe five chaos gods. And they each have their own like thing. Oh, IRL. Then I don't know what you mean by that, Blair. I don't know if a pure chaos race could actually like really get its shit together to go in the stars. Yeah, let's start before. One of my favorite genre of stories is the humanity just becomes super advanced, but we missed out on a super, like, apparently faster than light travel is just like super easy. So our level of technological advancement is actually far beyond what we would find out in space. We just missed a thing. So like aliens would essentially be like 17th century pirates. They show up on their like wind powered ships and we're just like, Nani? Yeah, no, literally something like that. We just somehow missed that technological development. So they show up and they're like on wooden galleons, and we're like, okay. So we're doing that now. Like, there's an entire like subreddit where humans are just like these super tough badasses out compared to all the rest of the aliens in the galaxy. Turns out our planet is like super hostile compared to the rest of the galaxy. So we're just inherently stronger, more resilient than everything else out there. We're essentially the monsters. They're like, how did you get this advanced? And we're just like, oh, I don't know. We just are what we are. We don't even go into space. Just get like abducted. We're like, oh my god, the humans, they're from the death world. Yay. You know, I would almost say that the competition is what drives our innovation. I mean, I would say that we are technically, to some degree, a chaos race. Yeah. A chaos race who's been able to kind of fight against its chaotic tendency in order to advance. I don't have the book here, but yeah, The Pursuit of Power, William McNeill presents a pretty convincing argument that it is our conflict that leads to innovation. Yeah, I don't know if I'm a big Ozymandias fan. I don't know if he was right. I legitimately don't know. I go back and forth on that. Like, we could be better, but then at the same time, it's like, I think through our conflict and competition, that is what has allowed us to succeed. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I even agree with his idea though. Like, his theory. Like, I'm not like super alpha male competition bro, but I also do think that there is something about competition that drives us forward, right? It's that competing against, it doesn't have to necessarily be competing against others. It can be competing against nature. Nuclear. Wash. Wagon. What is this called? They call it a roundabout. I don't think that's right. A roundabout. I don't think that's what this is called. Merry-go-round? Merry-go-round, that's the word. I don't know if that's better than roundabout or not. No, without the research into the Manhattan Project, we would not have nuclear power. Like that's not even a hot take. That's just facts. What is a hot take? Go shoot next to a lava chute. Shoot next to a chute. That is a hot take. Ew, brucha. It was a pun. He made a pun. Makes you a punball wizard. But what should be your punishment for that? You're unstumpable. You're already, you've already been stumped. Waka waka waka. Waka waka waka. Oh man, so yesterday I got like a news alert. The rapper who did the stanky leg got hit in the head with a brake pad thrown off of an 18-wheeler while he was driving. Like, that's just terrifying. How does that happen? There was so much to unpack in that story, and they did none of that work. And I'm like, what in the hell? Just had to make it most relaxing game of all time. Hey, no, man, do the stanky leg. Yeah, this could have just had all the hallmarks of a shovelware game, and it just happened to be the most relaxing game of all time. It could have just been a shovelware game, but no. Just the most relaxing video game known to man. It has no right to go as hard as it does. It goes hard by not going hard. Yeah, I've got the Tomb. I downloaded the Tomb Raider one this morning and thought about doing that, but the playground needed cleaning up. Story mode needed doing. Oh, we gotta get low, baby. My beebs. I feel like this is heading in the direction of a dick joke. There we go. Oh yeah. Get clean. Oh no! There we go. There it is. That's one. Blair. It went there. I felt it coming, and it was there. Lieutenant Dan. think this one's my favorite one. Oh, the orange one is super effective as well. I don't know. I do not know if Wolong demo carries over the game. I think it's a standalone demo. I think it's a standalone. I don't think it's just the beginning of the game. I think it's a standalone mission. But I'm not certain on that. I haven't actually looked into it, knowing that it comes out next week and it's on Game Pass.
Voila. On Dynasty.
I don't know if that like sarcasm needs its own font or if sarcasm needs like a punctuation mark. Like that, I have long thought there at least needs to be a punctuation mark. I guess emojis can do that, but I don't know. There's no like agreed upon standard. I guess on Twitch, like Kappa is the sarcasm one, but like my IRL friends don't have that. Like I can't just text someone Kappa and have them understand it. Or like using like there's definitely like Twitch words that I will not use in real life. Like a megalol. Poggers. If I ever catch myself saying poggers outside of Twitch, although I did say it to my wife the other day, but it's okay. Like that, like there are things you can say to fellow gamer folk that work out, but I can't just be like pog to my normie friends. That would be weird. Oh my god. The boy running the oh my god. Punch him in the face. Like no, you can't. No, like there are things we can say in the real world and then there are things we can say on the internet. Context matters, pal. Even though you understand that it like what he's saying. No. Roll up a newspaper and smack him on the nose. But like you can't say it in the real world. Like we have to keep that in our own spaces. Context matters, pal. There are certainly things we can't say in either. Don't remind me of the squeaky boo. I mean, okay, that I don't think that one's quite as egregious. Also, I don't know that episode of SpongeBob because I don't know SpongeBob. That's just fucking cringe, man. Also, I think that cringe needs to exit our lexicon. Overused, overplayed. The very concept of cringe is cringe. Get a Pickle Rick hat. Right. Those people don't get the whole point of the Pickle Rick thing. They're just like, oh, it's a fun meme. No, man. He was literally trying to do everything he possibly could to avoid actually dealing with his real emotional issues. Like, yes, it was funny. Yes, it was a good episode. But, like, a lot of people miss that point. And the people that are, like, super into it, usually the ones that miss the point. But I think that's pretty well established at this point.
bench has wood. Oh yeah, get swifty. Bench is wood. It's a wooden bench. Benchy McBenchface. What is up, noob? How are things? How you been, my dude? It's good to see ya. Shanky McSpanky. It's like Bodie McBoatface. Saving money to complete your Resident Evil collection. Nice. Nice. I have a fairly complete Resident Evil collection that I kind of regret because turns out I don't really like Resident Evil. Maybe I'll have to give it a shot another day, but like this wasn't doing it for me. I don't know what it was about it. It just did not click for me. Explosive vengeance. You can't love every game. This is true. This is true. I can see why people would like it, but not for me. Well, I didn't play it handheld, right? I tried playing it on the computer. Like, it wasn't like, I didn't have a problem with performance. I had a problem with gameplay. I just didn't care for it. But maybe I should try a different Resident Evil game. I might try giving 4 a better shot. That seems to be considered the best one. But 2 was not it, Chief. I think I just don't like that style of game. Like resource starved, dependent. Then right, you gotta just constantly. Yeah, I just didn't like. I didn't like the way you fight the zombies. I didn't really care for the puzzles. So I just think it wasn't for me. Yeah, I could give Village a shot. Or Biohazard. Need 4, 5, and 6. On the other hand, I picked them all up as like a humble bundle for like $25, so it wasn't that big of a deal. Why is this game so good? Why is it so satisfying? Why does my goblin brain love it so much? And why does my performance suck so much? Using up like 90% of my CPU. 95, 97, 92. The arguments to be made for not playing on PC.
Get your nasty Resident Evil 6 away from me, Satan. Like, so generally speaking, I prefer to play on PC, but when it comes to streaming, man, it is so much more difficult. And it really depends on the game. I will say it is much better to play this keyboard and mouse. This game is definitely better keyboard and mouse. Right, the thing to be said for playing on PC is you can also mod games. And I like it. I like it. Oh, whoa. Whoa, big shoots. Like, I want to get my hands on that Hogwarts mod for Elden Ring. I think that looks really great. If I could find some friends to seamless co-op with me, that'd be really cool. Oh yeah, I mean, right, you can, the other thing, right, you just have so many options playing on console. Like, I don't know how people play Souls games without a controller. Like, bitch, you live like this? Like, how? It is not a mouse and keyboard game for me. You gotta play with controller. Anything in a third-person action perspective's gotta be a controller. But first-person, mouse and keyboard is generally better. Not always. Sometimes you just want to relax and play with a controller. But right now, like this first-person perspective game, I'm digging it with mouse and keyboard. There's a guy who beat Dark Souls with 9 controllers. The current record stands at 10. The current Dark Souls controller record is 10, held by Zero Lenny. You just haven't had luck with it. But it is very dependent on hardware. And right now I realize I am running up against the limits of what my CPU can handle. Especially streaming and sharing games with y'all. I'm getting close to the limit of what it can be run. Oh no, if I have to get a new CPU, I'm gonna have to completely rebuild my computer. Because I'm gonna have to get a new motherboard. So it'll probably run me, like, we're probably talking all in by the time I finish rebuilding it, at least $1,300. Like, my graphics card's still fine. I've already got 32 gigabytes of memory, of RAM. Like, I built that out years ago. But my CPU is just, it's getting long in the tooth. All right. But Blair, here's the counterpoint to that. Yeah, I can still play. I mean, I can play pretty much anything. But the problem is the CPU on this is like it's like literally 10 years old at this point. It's 8 years old at this point. It's getting really long in the tooth, and it can still run stuff. The thing with the console, though, right? I have to buy a whole new console. And I can do so much more on the PC. I'm not arguing against consoles. I own all the consoles. I just sometimes I like to play on the PC. All of my consoles run through the same thing. For under 800. Well, that's because, Blair, I would also be buying I've got to buy two things, right? I got to buy, right? Let's see. Let's price this thing out real quick. Let's see. Probably go with AMD. So we'll call that top end 500 there. AMD. I would need a new motherboard too. Honestly, adding to the you just wanted to like keep the conversation going. I can get a AM4. Honestly, I could do it for like $600. Yeah, $600 would be about what it would take. Yeah. They both have their benefits and drawbacks. And honestly, I'm going to do them all. The thing that I like most about gaming on PC, though, is that I can get the games for cheaper. A lot of the times. I can wait for big sales. It's only very rarely that I find a game that I have to play immediately. And now that I have this Steam Deck, I can do both. And take it with me. Oh no, I don't have a right. I am an omni gamer. I am not a fanboy of any particular thing. I am a fanboy of playing games. Play the games you want, how you want, where you want. Yeah, I find the master I like the master race thing as a meme, but if you actually take it seriously, you're a jackass. Don't gatekeep. I don't like gatekeepers. I don't even gatekeep Scotch whiskey. Like, you want to drink it mixed with Coke? Go for it. I don't like it that way. I would like you to taste it on its own first, and then you do what you want with it. But that's about it. Oh, except for Super Mash. We love all games equally. No, we don't love all games equally. We love the concept of all games equally. But there are games that we can dislike. Like me and Resident Evil. Just don't like them. And Super Mash. Super Mash for me isn't even a game at this point. It's just a meme. We also hate Chain of Memories. Play games, Blair. I will always advocate for playing games. Except for when you actually have to, like, do real shit. And do the shit you gotta do. Nope. Right? And that's one of those. You can love it. I hate it. I hate Chain of Memories. Like, I do not... Right? Great story, but the combat ruins it for me. If your combat system sucks, I'm not going to like it. This is a well-established fact. For me, it sucks. I hate it. I just hate it. It's not one I want, like, it's not one that I enjoy, nor is it one that I want to learn to enjoy. I just don't like it. I don't think I could learn to enjoy it. I can't Stockholm Syndrome myself into it. This is kind of Spyro. Yeah, this dinosaur does kind of look like Spyro. Plus, it's right. Atomic Heart is basically just BioShock, and I could be into that. It's on my side games when we're deep into JRPGs list. It's pretty high up there. Do limit the Game Pass. Can I play the new BioShock? I will play it at some point. Like, we'll probably go through all the BioShock games at some point because I quite like those. Right. Plus, I think they'll make good side games during JRPG time. I don't know when the new BioShock is coming out, though. And I don't know if I want to play it on release. I don't typically like playing games right when they come out. Like, I don't even know. Like, I probably won't even do Tears of the Kingdom right when it comes out. I'll let y'all have a go at it first. And I'm going to be out of town for most of the back half of March. Unless y'all really want me to play Tears of the Kingdom right when it comes out. We could drop everything and do Tears of the Kingdom. But I feel like Tears of the Kingdom would be more of a, at least play Breath of the Wild first, and then do Tears of the Kingdom. Can you fish in it? That is important to know. Sammy with the real important questions. Because if you can fish in it, then that makes it a JRPG. Right? Breath of the Wild, it doesn't have a fishing mechanic proper, but you can collect fish. So I'd call it fishing. Does that make Breath of the Wild a JRPG? We need to come up with, like, strong criteria beyond fishing. Or is it a JRPG? Are there stats you can improve? Can you acquire new gear? And can you fish in it? There we go, JRPG. You can fish in Twilight Princess. Nintendo, please give me Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD bundled together so I can play them on the Switch. Like, I will pay you $70 for those two games. Give them to me. I need them. I don't want to have to talk to Cousin Roman about it. I just want to play them on my Switch. Final Fantasy 15 is a JRPG. If Elden Ring had a fishing mechanic, it would be a JRPG. Final Fantasy VII is not a JRPG. This is true. No fishing mean no JRPG. You can't fish in it, it's not a JRPG. It's an important criteria. Fire Emblem Three Houses, JRPG. I don't know if Fire Emblem engages. That's one I need to pick up. If I get more Twitch bucks in the near future, it's going to go towards that. Borderlands. Borderlands is a JRPG, yes. Do you have stats that you can level up? If there are, then Tinder is a JRPG. I mean, you can technically change gear, but I don't know if there's stats you can level up. Could diving harvest account that as a technicality? I mean, it's fishing, but you only come up with the gear instead of fish. Well, are there aquatic beasts that you can acquire? Because that would be fishing. Pretty sure we established that Borderlands was a JRPG. I remember that being a meme. I don't know if that's fishing. It comes close, but I don't know if it's fishing. It's like, you are a member of the council, but we do not grant you the rank of master. Like, that's where Hogwarts Legacy is for JRPG status. We grant you membership to the council. We do not recognize you as a master. Giant people, toads, which are aquatic. Oh, wait. If you can get the giant toads, those are aquatic. We'll call it fishing. So, the argument that it is a JRPG is increasing. Catch and release can be fishing, yeah. It's the act of fishing that matters. You don't have to keep the fish. Wash its belly. Wash the fishy belly. Alright. I need to go use the restroom real quick. Listen to all this water is all this water is making me have to pee. I'll be right back. See y'all in just a moment. Okie dokie artichokes. Okay, what we got? We got some missing things. Yes, curious answer to always. What was the societal norm to be more sensitive than motion sensor? When that happened? 2015. Yeah. Be able to carry it over a portal. Okay. Cool. What's up, Yuki? How you doing, you? Welcome in. Good to see you, my dude. Missed you. Missed your glorious face. Portion of the save data. Well, I will have to check that out. Once my brain is like fully booted up, I'd have to go look at that. And since it's going to be on Game Pass, that one definitely has a... We're going to play that on Xbox feel to it. Finally finished Pokemon. Praise the Lord and pass the ammo. It is done. I'm proud of you. FPS, 100%. FPS, 100% on team performance. I wanted to play at 60 FPS. That's all I'm asking for is 60 FPS. Honestly, I'd be happy with 40. I've kind of started to come around to Team 40. Team 30's too low. But 40? 40's alright. Is online only. Ray tracing, you'll go resolution. Oh yeah, no. If you can turn on the ray tracing, and you can actually get like 30 FPS, then yeah, I'll give you that. Sometimes. Oh yeah, we're watching that dyno. I had a wine hangover this morning, Yuki, when I woke up. I was like, I cannot do anything functional. So, power washing simulator, it is. I'm almost to the point where I feel semi-functional. Like, it wasn't a super bad hangover, but I don't know. I just felt like I had... Oh, yellow turbans. So, yellow turbans, this is definitely Three Kingdoms. The collapse of the Han Empire. So what are you doing with yourself now that you finish off Pokemon, Yuki? What are you going to do with yourself? Not watch anime for a month would be my answer. But then again, I played Assassin's Creed for an entire year. I played all the Assassin's Creed games. And immediately followed that up with... What did we play after Assassin's Creed? Borderlands. And after Borderlands, we went to Souls. I feel like I'm missing another whole ass series there. Kingdom Hearts, Assassin's Creed, Borderlands. So with our Stego slide. You started Yu-Gi-Oh! More like Yugi, no! Yu-Gi-Oh! More like Yuki, no! Don't do this to yourself, my dude. Don't do it to yourself! Oh, that's dirty. I gotta get that clean. There we go. You have an addiction, Yuki. You have an addiction. Your name is Yuki. And you're an animeaholic. Tracking my days by the anime I watch. I should forward y'all all a podcast episode about like the neuroscience of addiction and how addiction's on the rise, but it's not necessarily about being addicted to like substances. Yeah, you need to do some like short animes. Do some short animes. It's like my need to sometimes play short games just to remember what it feels like to roll credits. Which is what my plan was for today. I had like a 3-hour game I was gonna play. Instead, I'm spending all stream today on this one cleaning job. That's also okay. Blame it on my ADD, baby. I probably just need to watch an anime. I feel like I'm missing out on life by having not consumed anime. It'll make me feel bad for having not watched the animes. But that's okay. Oh, I'm sure there are terrible ones out there. There's bad everything. If you can name a medium, there is going to be bad stuff in it. There are plenty of bad books. There is bad podcast. There's bad music. Bad movies. Bad TV shows. Bad video games. This one's not a bad video game, surprisingly. It's got that made in Unity shovelware feel to it, but God, if it isn't good and satisfying. Even in good series, there are bad entries. Looking at you, Chain of Memories. Looking at you, Coded. Looking at you, Assassin's Creed Unity. Looking at you, Dark Souls 2. I know Boom would fight me on that. Don't like Dark Souls 2. Good restaurants have bad meals. Nothing in life is perfect. It is the human condition. It is life. Assassin's Creed, that's a game that might as well be shovelware. So true. So true. And yet there are people that think it's that have that as their favorite Assassin's Creed game. This world takes all types. That's why there's more than one thing. I'm sure there's somebody out there that loves Superman 64. True. We complain about the last episode because there's gay in it. I mean, that was like one of the best episodes of television that I've seen in a long time. I don't like The Last of Us as a game, but as a show, I think it's fantastic. Full disclosure, I haven't watched it, but I've heard very good things. Yeah, some people are just deeply afraid of things that are not familiar to them. But then you meet a gay married couple and realize, oh, they're just like us. Like, oh, that's fine. So, right, there is just a certain segment of people that like to complain about things on the internet. That's why I don't listen to people on the internet. I realize the irony of me literally being a person on the internet saying that. But when it comes to the things that I consume and the thoughts that I have, I generally like to come up with them on my own. I have a small handful of people that I trust, but who like guide me in the direction. But in general, I don't really trust loud voices on the internet. It's okay to have a female protagonist. It's okay to tell different stories. Well, okay, so the way that I understand it and interpret it is forcibly doing, and this is air quotes around it, representation for the sake of doing it just in general if it doesn't serve the purpose of your story. The third of them are on your screen. Yeah. So, like, trying to shoehorn in things that don't really make sense. But then on the other hand, like, people complain about... Like, people would complain about... Like, if Superman were black. It wouldn't fucking matter if Superman was black. It doesn't change the essential nature of the story. Right? I think that's but because it's not a white man, they get angry. Like, that doesn't matter. So, I don't know. I'm still wine hungover a little bit. I'm having trouble putting things together. But the way that I look at it, when people are complaining about something being woke, it is like forcibly like shoehorning in representation in ways that like don't really matter. We do love a good character creation mechanism. For me, just tell a good story. That's all I want. I just want a good story. Can you make Shrek? Somebody once told me. If you can't make Shrek, then it's a bad character creator. You know what game had a disappointing character creator? The Wizard game. I am disappointed with its character creator. And I don't think it's a limitation of the engine. Oh yeah, no, you can't get rid of Pikachu. It's literally the core of the Pokemon. You can't get rid of Pikachu. Pika, motherfuckers. Oh yeah, no, you can definitely do good things with Unity 4. I mean, Unreal 4. Like, that's not a limitation of the engine there. Let me make a good character. I kind of wish they would have gone with Eevee for the new Pokemon thing. Just Eevee hangs out with him instead of, or her instead of Pikachu. I like Eevee better than Pikachu. Get 80% plus 2. I didn't know there was a created character in Xenoblade 3. Although we'll get to that when we get to the... Should we declare Persona 4 as a portion of our year of JRPGs and say we're doing it? Oh, recreating in Hogwarts. Like, that's a question for y'all. Have we started our year of JRPGs since we're in Persona 4? Or are we going to officially start it once we're done with Persona 4? Alright, so we're calling it. We're in. We have started our year of JRPGs. I need to make new, stuff if we're going to call it actually begun. Dr. Powerwash, that is me. I am Dr. Powerwash. Well, you know, we typically begin our year of a game in like May. I mean, Assassin's Creed ran from May to May. We usually start after my birthday. We'll just call it like 18 months of JRPGs or something. We have a list of JRPGs to play, and we're going to play them by God. Just don't want this to be a full-on JRPG channel. I will go insane if all I play are JRPGs. I mean, that would make sense for JRPGs. They're super long, so more than a year. Right? A JRPG year is actually 18 months. That would check out. That would check out. Price on itself for short. Next ship as a whole. It's a lot better. Oh, we're not going into Kingdom Hearts this year. We've done that. We did what, like 9 months of Kingdom Hearts? If I do some Kingdom Hearts replay, I think I'm just going to stick to like the 4 big games. Yeah, right. Kingdom Hearts not being open world is clutch AF. Hello, my love. Good morning. This is where I'm at in my life. I have restored humanity.
How did you come home?
No, I come home smelling like wine and cuddly as fuck. Well, I mostly drink wine, so...
You got wine drunk?
Yes, I got wine drunk. The GBA version of Chain of Memories was hot ass, and I hated it. I did not complete it. It was the fucking worst. Yes. You use the stand in one spot and spray mode, whereas
yes,
I move it around.
Better.
No, this is better. Disagree. At least I didn't try to struggle snuggle you last night.
I'll smell gross.
Did.
No, you fell asleep snoring in my butt.
Sorry. In conclusion, fuck the cards. Yes. We have been at this for 2 hours and not a second wasted. Exactly. Time spent power washing is good time. This is exactly what I needed this morning. And hopefully this is what you needed as well. Oh, I'm pretty much functional now. I've been hydrating and caffeinating. We're good to go. The cleaner that this part gets, the more functional I am.
I like this.
I don't think we technically ever finished it because I had to start it fresh for my story mode.
I did.
This one's a satisfying one. They've also given us the ability to power wash Laura Croft's banner. Yep. No Luxord card game battle. Ugh. Yeah, the cards. I don't know what Nomura was thinking by introducing card-based combat. Card-based combat can work. It can be good. See also Marvel's Midnight Suns. But in Kingdom Hearts, it doesn't work.
Clearly.
Oh my god, that's so cool. Nomura was on cocaine. It's like, what are we gonna do? He must have been in Macau doing a lot of gambling and on cocaine. He's like, I want to make my game card-based combat. Except it's gonna suck. People are gonna hate it. Some people are gonna be like Stockholm Syndrome. They're like, it's the best game I've ever played. I love you, Blair, but I hate that game. That's why there's more than one game. Cardcade. That yayo. Aha! Mm-hmm. And?
It's literally
Yeah. I don't know what else you were expecting. Force yourself to like chain research. Check out after 15 to 20 hours, you began to like it. Something awakened in you. Yeah, I just nope. I just pure nope on that one. All right, my love. Have fun. Yeah, it does. It just doesn't work for me. I think I've put. Right, I have a full playthrough of the PlayStation version, and then 4 or 5 worlds in Game Boy one, and it's a no from me. Don't like it. I think the other problem is that, like, realistically, the story is pretty repetitive. Forcing yourself to like something does not seem healthy. No, yeah, you don't have to like it. I can't make myself do it. This, though, this is pure dopamine. No, that's exactly what happened. Everyone's like, "Oh no, the Game Boy Advance version is so much better," and I kept playing. And I'm like, "This is not good. I don't like this." Right? I have never raged at a game more than I ended up raging at Game Boy Advance Chain of Memories. I feel like I failed you all, but I just didn't like it. Just didn't like it. Yes, ma'am. No, you started that problem. You picked it up. Oh shit. Mommy! I'm fine. Hold on, there's some food. You go buy some gift bags. Have fun.
Buy one big gift.
Just one big gift.
I know. It's not as I thought.
No. Such cleanliness. Wow.
And anyway, like,
Looks really nice. Fun. Come back to that in a minute. Ooh, the back of that slide's gross too. Everything is gross. The spray. We must spray. The spray must flow. See this I hate. This is superior. Perhaps it's because I've come from the ranks. First person shooter. So hear me out. Gyro controls. Hear me out. I wonder if there's a speed run of this game. Maybe it's all ILs. Seems possible. Back 3 years only playing Dark Souls 2 when you're playing. Oh my god, that's I'm gonna pick Dark Souls 2. Actually, I will pick Dark Souls 2 in that. Because at least I like the combat. Right? I'm sure I could find much more joy in Dark Souls 2 than I could in Chain of Memories. There are more nooks and crannies to dive into, right? There's a variety of builds you could do. Challenge runs. Like, I would take 3 years of only Dark Souls 2. I would take 3 years of only Dark Souls 2. Honestly, if I learned some, like, setup or speedrun strats for it, I could probably actually come around on Dark Souls 2. But in general, like Dark Souls 2 is still I would say that Dark Souls 2 is got a good game in it. I am not sure, for me, Chain of Memories has a good game in it. That was a tough one, Yuke, but like pretty sure I'd go with Dark Souls on that one. Luckily, in the real world, I don't have to worry about that. Praise the Lord. Praise the Allspark. If you'd asked me that a year ago, though, I don't know how I would have answered. I mean, I feel like in some ways that's exactly what happened with me playing Chain of Memories recently, and then I escaped. But yeah, that would be pretty rough. Being forced into playing something you don't really like. Luckily, y'all released me. I was freed. Even Blair was like, "Yeah, Doc is not having a great time with this. We should let him go." Yeah, that will never be another incentive. Like, Chain of Memories is dead to me. If I ever go back through and do the whole Kingdom Hearts series again, it's getting a pass. It would be getting a pass from me. It's gonna be a no from me, dog. I'll be cashing in. Big money moves, big money moves. Yeah, they are banned. Recoded is just pointless. Like, oh, we're gonna just do stuff in the computer and nothing actually really happens. We have a contractual obligation to deliver a new game. Yeah, let's do this. Ugh. Aren't they just pointless? Now, we all know that I'm team, I don't think the Disney's necessary to Kingdom Hearts anymore. And I know that's like one of my hottest takes. I know this. But I think it's not necessary anymore. I think Kingdom Hearts has established itself enough as its own thing. It doesn't really need the Disney or the Final Fantasy in the way that it did when it began. They're vestigial at this point. My hottest of hot takes. I mean, just think about it. In Kingdom Hearts 3, was there any true importance to the Disney? I would even say at this point, if you had just replaced Goofy and Donald with any of the other, like, Kingdom Hearts characters, it would have worked. Like, you can take Goofy, Donald, and Mickey just completely out of the equation, and you can make that game with just the Kingdom Hearts characters. I know that a big part of the appeal of Kingdom Hearts is exploring the Disney worlds. I just don't know if they're necessary. They're not the parts that stick out to me that I remember heavily from playing that game. Not only he grew up, I think he has grown up past the Disney things. Like, imagine how much better Kingdom Hearts 3 would have been if instead of Donald and Goofy, you had Riku and Kairi as your companions. Imagine if that was your party. Yes. We need Dark Sora. We need emotionally angsty teenager Sora. And I think it would be a better game if Kairi was allowed to do more. Kingdom Hearts chat in this thread. But again, I am aware that this is my hottest take. I am aware. All of a sudden, it was just clean. Just like that. It was clean. Okay? In 30 minutes.
Ushering.
Okay.
Like you think.
Okay. Can do. We're on speed wash. Never be in the 6 rooms. Yeah, Japan weird. What is just general observation? Well, we're talking about Kingdom Hearts, you know, as per the usual. But same idea. Well, I mean, I would say that Xehanort is like the most important bad guy. It was literally the Xehanort saga. So, yeah. But I think we're done with Xehanort now. Watch them Norda boy again. So fresh and so clean, clean. One of these days, I'm gonna get this clean. Literally spent hours. I've spent 2.5 hours cleaning up this park. I feel like it was time well spent. It's been time well spent. I feel like I'm doing something with my life. Every place has its own problems. I mean, it is a nice country and people do want to live there, but it has its own problems. Everywhere has its own problems. Nowhere is perfect. But I do think people get in their heads like an idealized image of a place. I think Japan, because of its cultural influence, has been especially prevalent in that idealized image. Exactly. Bunch of nerds. Bunch of scruffy weebs. Love our scruffy weebs. The angle, oh the dangle. I mean, it's still like kind of one, but I'd say it's in the vein of nerd being an insult, and kind of not really, because everybody's a nerd these days, more or less. Back when I was a pledge. Yeah, I kind of want new stories. I think we're seeing too much that's just like remakes. I want to try some new stuff. But people want nostalgia. They just want the same things they've always seen. And sometimes I like a remake. But other things just like, let's tell a new story. Try something else out. Okay, what am I missing on this freaking slide, man? There we go. And I especially think video games are doing too much remake. Not everything has to be a sequel, and not everything has to be a connected universe. Sometimes a connected universe story works, but you don't have to connect things. I don't think you have to connect all of your things. So like, and this is another one of my controversial hot takes, especially, I don't want to pick on Blair while she's not here, but like, I don't think the Ubisoft games really need to be connected. Like Far Cry can be its own thing, Watch Dogs can be its own thing. Assassin's Creed should definitely be its own thing. I don't think you have to. I don't think everything needs to be super interconnected. I don't think everything needs a sequel. Some stories can just stand on their own. Try new things. Or like a whole bunch of remasters of games not being better, like not actually improving things. The Tales of Symphonia remaster that just came out, it just runs at 30 FPS. On the GameCube, it ran at 60. What the fuck? You sweaty gods. But at the same time, I would murder somebody for a Bloodborne 60 FPS remake. Just give it to Bluepoint, let them remake Bloodborne, and put it on PC. Literally one line of code you have to change. Make it 60 FPS. Just saying. I'm just saying. What was that? You know, not everything has to be super, like, talked about and hyped once it comes out. Play it, enjoy it, move on. I'm not someone that clearly, that fixates on a single thing. Like, I only did one thing. What thing? John and King of Washington. What fun thing. I would like to be able to watch the Legend of the Galactic Heroes stuff. Really just get the books, translations. I've only read the first one, but I love the hell out of it. Need to do more with it. I know they remade that. The reason was Netflix put it as a Netflix exclusive. Yeah. Well, I mean, how, right? If Netflix paid for the series to be made, like if they're the ones that provided the funds for it, like what else are people going to do? Like where else are you going to watch it? And that's like being mad at a movie studio for, I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that metaphor. I do not know. I'm just like not. I mean, fair, but like, if Netflix is the one that put things out, then that's where it's gonna be. If you're the one that paid for it, like, kind of do that. I think people just get angry and irrational about some things that really aren't worth fighting over. Like what, Yugi? Like what are some stupid things they have done? Like, I'm not here to shill for Netflix, but I legitimately want to know like why people have all of a sudden soured on Netflix. The password sharing thing, like, I honestly don't know why we got away with that for as long as we did. But there's other things like I don't really know like why people. Yes, they're having to raise prices. Inflation is a thing. You kind of have the video equivalent of shovelware, but then again, that's also like, I mean, they do cancel series a little bit on the early side, but they've also noticed that viewership falls off after like a second or third season. Like, they got the metrics, they can see it. Promotion costs money. Like, how would you go about promoting a series if it's on your platform like that? Like, do you go and you put a advertisement on regular TV? I don't think that would make a whole lot of sense. Again, not trying to shill for Netflix. Stuff about the show Cuties. I don't think that was even like a thing, or people misinterpreted what that show was actually doing. And it just sounds like bullshit culture war stuff to me, and I have no interest in it. Not here to fight your culture wars, man. Not here for any culture war stuff. Yeah, I literally have not heard, or if I have heard, it was so long ago that I don't remember it in any way, shape, or form. But that's because I probably don't care. I just want to let people live their lives, man. Let people live their lives. As long as everyone's having a good time, there's no need to be a poopy pants. Something's not for you, you don't have to consume it. If you don't like it, consume it. No reason to get mad about it. It's only a game. Get mad, bro. No reason is people hate just to hate. Yeah, some people just get off on being haters, and I say don't hate, congratulate. Like there are just some people that if they're not angry, then they're not happy. That's not me. I'd rather live joyfully. Like something the other person says. Yeah. Exactly. And I just don't want to be that way. Not the way I want to live my life. Wait, you have a different opinion than me about a thing? No, you're wrong. Not me, dog. Not me. Live your life. Enjoy the things you like. Have your own opinions. I might think you're wrong, but I'm gonna let you do you, dog. You do you. Based cleaning god. Get all that pressure. Maintain the pressure. That feeling when you just forget how to words. Man, that's a vibe. Just forgetting how to words. Although you get a lot of extra credit because this isn't your native language. And sometimes I forget that. This is like your third language. You're like me trying to do this in Chinese. Doing much better than me. Yeah, you're doing way better than I am. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, you taught yourself English. I was born into it. Molded by it. Speaking another language until I was already a man. Don't think I'm going to get this done today. spent almost 3 hours doing this. I don't think it's going to be done today. Alas. No, that's a pretty common experience for people learning English, from what I've gathered. And you just start to pick it up. I mean, that's kind of how language acquisition happens in reality. No. Fell off. Anywhere. Soup. You forgot how to speak it. Oh man, yeah. So like, I guess the close equivalent to that is like I have difficulty in pulling out my French or my Chinese when I actually have to use it with another human being. So like, if there's no pressure, I can rock it out, but especially my French. But then like when you go to France, or like when I go to Montreal next month, like I'm a little bit worried about using my French. Luckily in Montreal, I could just say hello, bonjour. I'll be fine. Let them know that I can in fact speak French. But as long as I start with the hello, we'll be all right. I am lucky that English is my native language. Well, you know, so when I was at Versailles, I held a, like, I wasn't even thinking about it, and I held a decent conversation about like, the wine locker and my bottle opener and everything. I wasn't even thinking about it. And it was fine, right? What I realized is that if you just try, you're probably fine. Like, very few people will be like, oh no, he's very bad at speaking this language. I will laugh at him. Now, most people are just like, oh, he's trying to speak, right? They're trying to reach out and communicate with me on my terms. I appreciate that. I think most people, that's how it actually works out. Well, I mean, yeah, that's why I have a little bit of a better time, like, using the foreign languages when I'm a little drunk. Just a little bit. And a drink or two. Because then I just don't think about it. I don't worry about it. I don't get in my own head about it. I mean, that is probably the most human of human experiences, is remembering the things we did in the past and just be like, ugh. It's very human. All right. I'm going to see if I can finish this a little bit. And then I think I'm going to have to call it for today. I got stuff to do. I'm a little sad we didn't get it done. That's okay. Look at all that schmutz. Hardest bass bottle. The playground. Oh no, it gets way more intricate than this. This is a pretty low level. Mission, actually. One of your first. This is like the first. This would be the equivalent of like the Renala boss fight. It's pretty early. It's weird. It's a good feeling with dirt good. No, that's not weird at all. It's satisfying. The nice white noise in the background from the sprayer, like this game is satisfying. Deeply satisfying. It should have been a shovelware game. Could also have been Game of the Year. It is calming, it is satisfying. Some days it's just the right game to play. If you've got Xbox Game Pass, I highly recommend giving it a shot. No repetitive background music, right? You just put on your own music. Or no music. Just live with the white noise. It uses itself pretty nice. I could just put like the me channel music on, like bop 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 bop, like hours. Bop 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 bop. Quiet and you just forget your worries and you just focus on getting the job done. Just a job well done. makes you feel since accomplishment. My mouse is about to die. Just look how much cleaner this place has become. Squiggly boy. All right. I'm going to have to. I got to wrap up too. I'll see y'all later. I'll be back on Monday, probably. I'll let y'all know. You have a good one, Yuki. Everyone else. And I'll see y'all later. Bye bye.